Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome along to your Rabble Live at 5. I hope that you are all well. My name's Martin. I'm your host, and my co host tonight is Mr. Connor Chalmers. Connor, how are you?
Aye, not too bad. Literally came back through the door for work like 10 minutes ago. So, you know, fun times. But I know all good. And as we near the weekend, I think that the battle fever will just gradually start building within us all.
Yes, it will. It will indeed. YouTube gave me another option to do a dual stream thing. So on normal YouTube, you have this, and they've gave me this thing for shorts. Now, from what I can see, it can see half a Connor's face in my ear. So if you're watching on the shorts or anything like that,
Just
and
to
it's not
confirm
working,
that when you say it can see half of my face in your ear, that's not your ear on my face.
no,
Uh,
no, no. Well, I mean, technically, I don't even think they can see my ear now. I don't know what they can see. So if that's not working, I apologise, folks. It was something new I was trying. Um, and of course, as the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed, that there is a link in the chat. It is the pinned comment. All you do is click on that link, and you can come in and join the show and have your say. Don't worry, you won't be brought on screen or anything, but you can come on and have your say. Now, when you do come on, you'll be asked to put in a name, and sometimes names tell me a lot about who's going to call the show, and sometimes names make me nervous about joining the show. So I'm going to bring this person on. The name that they have put in to come on to the show is Tomato. So can't believe I'm actually going to say this. Tomato, hello.
Hello. I
How
was
are
going
you?
to put in vegetable, but I don't think you maybe
Did
know
oh,
what that.
Christopher, it's yourself. That wouldn't have went down very well, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to put broccoli or something in, but I thought no, maybe no know what that who that is. So I thought I'd put tomato in, considering our previous conversation.
Yes. Well, I had completely forgotten all about it, and now I've remembered, and now I'm trying to stop myself from laughing. So, obviously, Chris, we had a conversation this morning on the members show. We do a live members phone in every single morning at 10 o'clock. And you're not the most confident, Chris, are you, for the weekend?
No, I'm of the position that we're not going to win both of them. We're going to win one or the other. But having said that, if we do win on Sunday, my confidence could go through the roof and get, as football fans do, get overexcited and all the rest of it. But just see how Sunday goes first, then push on from there.
It's not one or the other, Connor, is it?
Well, I mean, it's not, but I think clearly the priority is on the league game. I don't think there's any question about that, not just for us, but for them as well. I mean, we know, for example, they will rest players on Thursday night because they're already out, so they're not going to, they want to make sure that they get out unscathed and get to Ibrox. We need to make sure that you win that league game because whatever happens in the cup, and we all want to win trophies, man. We all want to win the cup. Nobody disputes that. But the league is the most important thing. It's the bread and butter. And, frankly, as long as we win the game on Sunday, I'm not as arsed about next week. I'll worry about that when it comes, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously, I still want us to win. Might be a bit sweeter to win next week just purely because they're going to have a full stand. So there'll be more of them for us to rub their noses in it. But, you've got to make sure, get the game won on Sunday and then next week takes care of itself. Because what I do think, to Tomato's point, is that
I'll change my name completely. I'll go to the registry office and get it changed just to make things easier from going forward.
That would be better, Chris.
And do you know what they'll say to you when you walk in the door, Chris? What's Tomato with you?
Oh, no. No, see, people watching who don't watch the member shows will have absolutely no idea what's going on here. And my question of the day was tomatoes. What's your thoughts? That was the question of the day. Because I hate tomatoes. But I'm not going back down the tomato route. Sorry, Connor, carry on.
No. But no, as I say, I think as well. I mean, I don't know, Dwight, do you think that you'll see a
Call
similar
him Chris,
year?
for God's sake. Just call him Chris.
Chris. Well, isn't it, but Chris, right? Do you think, Chris, that we're talking about the fact that you get that they'll probably make some changes? I imagine between both games they will. Do you think that the squad we see lining up this Sunday will be the same squad that lines up next Sunday, or do you think we are liable to end up probably switching it about as well?
I've got a funny feeling we're going to be playing one up front. I think we'll go one up front. I've just got that sneaky feeling that's what we're going to do. And I disagree with Connor in regards to them going full strength. I think they'll go full strength with us. But the reason I say that is their support are absolutely up in arms at the minute. And to go over to Germany and get absolute battered, that doesn't exactly look good on them. So I think they'll go there with a full strength team to try and minimise any turning into a complete debacle. But I would say we'll go one up front. I don't see us going two up front. We should be going two up front for the rest of the season, in my opinion, and just absolutely going after teams. But I think we will go one up front. And
Chris, I'll be honest, I think it depends on who Danny Rowell's got available. I think Danny Rowell would prefer to go two up front against Celtic. I think if you look at that defence, Chris, obviously Carter Vickers is still out, Trusty's suspended, so they're going to have Liam Scales and whoever else they've got at centre back. I think Danny Rowell will be desperate to put two strikers up against that Celtic defence. And if Nadiri's fit and ready to go, I think it'll be him and Chermiti. If Nadiri's not fit, then you could be right. Then it could be the one up front. But I think, personally, the manager will be desperate to get two strikers on, especially with that Celtic defence being weakened.
And that's the thing. When they're weakened like that, you go after them. You don't just sit back and wait to half time to do a patch-up job. You actually get after them for the first whistle, get the supporters up and gone, and absolutely make the place as hostile as possible. And this is another thing that is these half-time patch-up jobs have got to stop. These half-time getting in at half-time, doing a patch-up job, then coming out the second half, that's got to stop. If we've got any genuine interest in winning trophies, that's got to stop straight away, because you cannot play one half of football and expect to walk away with trophies at the end of the season.
I mean, I agree with that. I wonder though, Chris. I mean, we've obviously had the conversations on here about Danny Rowell's wanting to tinker the way that he does. Particularly, he seems to shift the formation and the tactics on an away game compared to a home game. You look at the Hearts game, we're playing two up front. We were brilliant in that game. Even when Hearts scored the goals, we did not get phased or knocked off our stride. We just kept going, which is what he should be doing. But then he reverts back to one up top, which is usually Chermiti. I'm not sure why he's not letting Nadiri play the solo striker yet. What would you put that down to? Why do you think he's approaching the away games so differently when you compare what's happening when we're at Ibrox?
I don't know why he's been a wee bit more now. People would, I would maybe say you would maybe go one up front against Hearts because Hearts are the better team, but going to Livingston away, you should really be playing two up front and absolutely just gone for them. I don't understand why he's doing that, why we're a wee bit more negative away from home. And it's costing us points, this negativity away from home. We've got to be on the front foot. And I think on another point, we could learn a lot from Bodo Glimt in terms of that. They're on the front foot the whole time. They don't care who they're up against. They just go for them. And I think we could learn a lot, not just domestically, but Europe as well, about going after teams, and this playing one up front against Livingston away from home. No for me. Go two up front, have a go at them, and bury them at the end of the day. Then you can start changing the team about as the game goes if you're 2-3-0 up. But no, I think you've got to go two up. And this doesn't look good for Milovski, that the manager doesn't seem to trust Chermiti up top with Milovski. That's very worrying.
The manager just doesn't seem to really trust me off. It would seem to me anyway. Connor, can I just pick up on one of Chrissy's points there about Bodo Glimt? Who, by the way, what a job Knutson's been doing there. What a football club, by the way, where they've came from, to how they're playing, to what they're doing. I don't know if that's possible to do at Rangers with I mean, Bodo Glimt rising through the ranks, the expectations aren't there. They're having to win every week. Wouldn't have been there at the very beginning. They've obviously had a lot more time to nurture through youth talent there as well, Connor. A lot of their players are homegrown. We don't have the luxury that a Bodo Glimt have to get to where they are, albeit they've shown that if you do it that way, it can be done.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're in a position where the demand is that you win every season. Now, in reality, does any Rangers fan actually expect or think that you're entitled to win the league every season? Obviously not. But the demand is that you are fighting and you're competing for that every season. If you lose it, then you lose it. And it sounds strange to say it, right, because losing's losing, but you lose it in the right manner. You know, you lose it swinging, basically, and you make them work their asses off for it. We've not done that for a while, and I think the pressure is that you just don't have the grace of that amount of time. I mean, we already see it now that managers, we've been in a merry-go-round of managers, Martin, for the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, it's every year, come October, manager gets sacked, new manager comes in. That's been no different this season. And that tells you don't get the time that Knutson's had, whereas up there is a bit less pressure on him, or was at the start. But I also think where they benefited majorly was the Conference League coming into existence. For all the criticism people have of the Conference League, and some people don't like it, it has propelled a club like Bodo Glimt into that European spotlight, getting that first, because without the Conference League, they wouldn't have got European football that season that they first got in, and that would have then meant their coefficient points wouldn't have got as high to the point where they're able to get into Europa Leagues and Champions Leagues. Now, they've done that and carried it on their back, and I think they are the classic example of a team who've made the most of that and taken advantage of the opportunity put before them. I would say as well quickly how impressive it is for them. They've managed to keep a hold of Ketchy Knutson, and they have been improving year on year. Like, they have got better and better and better, and yet, despite the fact he has been linked with other jobs, his head has never seemingly been turned away, which tells you he obviously feels a bit of fealty and a bit of loyalty to the club as well, which that's a harmony we could be doing with a bit of that, to be fair to Chris, but that is a harmony we could be doing with here.
Chris, just a final question for you, mate, before I let you go. Who starts at the back for you on Sunday? Who's your two central defenders?
Giga and Fernandes.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would be on board with that. So definitely no Suter for you, Chris?
No, I'll keep Suter on the bench at the road. No, I'd just go Giga and Fernandes. But I've got a suspicion it will be Suter. So do I. Chris, mate, thank you very much. Second time I spoke to you today. Always appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Adios. Cheers, buddy.
We'll catch up later.
Yeah, we'll get out. Don't you start. Now, Paul, I'm hoping you're in a better mood.
Get off, would you? I was all right this morning. Like I said to you, I was only that long up. Christ almighty,
man. You were in a terrible mood this morning. Paul, how are you feeling now?
Criminy, man. I'd only been awake for what? Just after 10 to 9 this morning, and you're saying I was grumpy. Oh, piss off.
You were grumpy, and look, he's still grumpy, Connor. He's swearing at me and everything.
No, I'm telling you, piss off. And one thing, Connor, your ketchup, your tomato jokes suck, just like your dad jokes.
I mean, it's
he's in a bad mood, Connor.
Well, all I say is, Martin, they may suck to him, but other people enjoy them. And they're better than Martin's, which I accept is not a high bar.
Yes.
This is very true.
This is very true.
As well as I don't think you can dampen Connor's mood today, considering Newcastle won last night.
Well, I didn't even know they were playing. There you go.
Yeah.
That shows you my level of football knowledge outside of Rangers. Paul, mate, who are you playing at the back on Sunday? Giga Fernandes, Suter and Giga?
I'd go with Giga and Fernandez.
Why?
Manny works really well alongside Giga, as well as that. Giga is not that can be pushed off the ball really easily, as well as that he can put in these really sly, crunching tackles where he doesn't get cared or anything like that for it, which will really put the Celtic players' nose out of joint.
I think, Connor, personally, I think it's important that, and again, I could be completely wrong here, and he could start and have the game of his life, but I think it's important that Giga and Fernandez start this game on Sunday. I think defensively over the last few games have looked a little bit suspect, Connor, and I'm not putting that all down to John Souttar, but I'm putting it more down to Souttar than I am Fernandez.
Well, look, John Souttar has had a few notable errors of late. One or two he's managed to just about get away with. Others, he's not been quite as fortunate. I mean, look, again at the weekend, and I mentioned this on the Monday Night Rabble, for me, what you've seen was a naivety, and it just seems to be slipping into his game a wee bit. I don't get. I mean, let's be honest, John Souttar is almost certainly going to be on the plane to the World Cup in the summer, unbelievably, when you consider his form. So, for me, I would agree with the Giga and Fernandez sentiment. I would caveat it by saying that, Giga has also had some howlers. And right now, whether it's Giga, whether it's Souttar, it really is, I think, a gamble either which way, because they're both capable of doing something silly. And Fernandez, to be fair to him, he's one of these kind of, likes to keep you in your toes and the edge of your seat kind of players, but he might look out of control, but he's actually probably more in control than you think. But sometimes he'll do a wee turn or something in his own half, or in his 18-yard line, and you think, what the hell are you doing? But he is, in my opinion, probably of the three, he's clearly the best centre back. But I think it's a flip a coin type choice, to be perfectly honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Hold on a wee second, Connor. I'll need you to.
Martin's went. I mean,
I think he said his daughter is missus, because I think I heard the door going.
Yes, he's definitely somebody at the door, because I can see him bobbling about having a conversation.
Yes, that's what happens when you have children and your missus is late home for work. Unfortunately, that's just the sad facts of it.
Imagine complaining about your missus being late home for work when she's actually got a proper job.
I know, she's got a real job. And then this sitting in front of a computer nonsense. Imagine, London, that this show had sponsors and subscribers. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? Absolutely incredible. Paul, I've probably already asked you this, mate, but how are you feeling about the weekend? And going along with Chris's call there, is it one or the other, or both, that we're going to win?
I said this before, Martin. I want to see us destroy them on Sunday. The following Sunday, I can't give monkeys about.
Well, you can't say you don't give a monkeys about it. I mean,
Martin,
the day before it, Paul, you'll be on the phone to me, giving it, we need to beat them, we need to win this cup, because we all want to win a double.
Yeah, it would be nice. But the whole thing is, man, what would you rather have, League or the Scottish Cup?
Both.
But if you had to make a choice, though.
If I had to make a choice, the League, but I want both.
Right then.
So I want to beat them in both games.
But the match on Sunday is the more important one.
The League game is more important, of course it is, but the cup game's right up there in terms of importance. If we can stop them from winning anything this season and we can get a double, superb.
Yeah. The simple thing is, we need to win this game to stay in the title hunt, because if we didn't, that's it. Our title season's early.
Do you go along with that, Connor? A defeat at the weekend, and it's quite a defensive. It's quite it's a depressing thing to think about. But we did speak about it this morning as well. Is a defeat on Sunday curtains for us?
I don't think it's curtains for us, no. But I do think that it leaves us, in a very, very difficult position. I mean, look, if we lose on Sunday, the one thing it does more than anything else to hurt is apart from the points drop, because actually when you look at the table, we are 2 points above Celtic. We could actually afford to lose that game more than they could in some aspects, mathematically, not from an on-field perspective, obviously, because you're at home, but mathematically we could, because obviously if we win that and Aberdeen get beat by Hearts, then Celtic are staring down the barrel of a 9-point deficit for Hearts. Even with a game in hand, that's quite, with 4 games to go before the split, that's quite difficult to overcome. For us, it wouldn't be in the same boat, but it would make life a hell of a lot harder, and it would also give them the shot in the arm that they might need, because you cannot underestimate the fact that they being able to come to Ibrox and win, that could kick them into high gear. Look at what it did for us, Martin, when we went to Parkhead and won. We kicked on and went in our good wee run. That could happen for them right at a crucial moment in the season. So from that point of view, I think it is must win. From a mathematical standpoint, well, no, we could get over it, but it would be tough. And I did mention Aberdeen being their game in hand, Ian, but that would then still leave them 6 points behind with 4 games to the split. And bear in mind, some of those games they've got, Tannadice against Dundee United, Dens Park against Dundee, where they've already lost at both those grounds this season. Motherwell coming to Parkhead isn't going to be easy. I'm not saying they will lose all of those games or they won't. All I'm saying is it's a tough run to claw back that gap with that run of fixtures in front of you. Whereas I think we might be able to get away with it. But I wouldn't want to lose, because it would really, really damage us.
As well as that, Connor, if we do lose it to them, it means we're going to have to fight with the Muppets to get into Europe for next season.
Yeah.
Yeah, Europe's a big thing from this. It really is.
Huge. Think of the gap that could be closed as well. Can you imagine? Because there's a world, by the way. Motherwell are 4 points behind Celtic. If we beat Celtic at the weekend and Motherwell win, that goes to a point with the fact they've got to play them now. Even if Celtic win their game in hand and it's 4, then to play Motherwell. Motherwell have played the same games as Celtic, so they don't have a game in hand on Motherwell. Motherwell themselves have still got a game to play, I believe. So that puts a different slant on it, where I don't think it will happen, but you cannot rule out a world where we beat them and they could end up crumbling and finishing 4th. Now, financially, how damaging could that be for them, and how lucrative could it be for us in terms of closing that gap if we can then kick on and win the league?
I mean, yeah, if your auntie had boys, she'd be your uncle and all that, I get where you're coming from. It's just that's looking too far ahead for me.
No, but all I'm saying is what Sunday can do is apply that pressure to them.
Yes, I completely get it. Paul, mate, just before I let you go, I have to ask, Celtic aren't playing well, right? And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I watch their games, because I don't, right? Yeah. But I have seen reports, I have seen some highlights. They're not in good form. They're not playing well. They've got a few players out injured. Should we be going into this game on Sunday absolutely full of confidence that we are the better team? We've got the better form right now. Should we be going in with the attitude on Sunday of we should be beating this Celtic team? Not we can, but we should.
Yeah, we should be, Martin. We should be going with confidence, and we should be going in to beat these Muppets. But the simple thing is, though, Martin, these guys are jammy sods, and always have been for years now. And as well as that, remember when Walter Smith was in charge the second time around, there was games in that final run we weren't playing that well, but we're still grinding out victories. And this is what these jammy buggers are good at the moment. Well, so we can't.
Not the last game.
No, but they came close a few times for what I hear. But the simple thing is, though, Martin, when we play them on Sunday, we should not give them a goddamn opportunity to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
We should be hitting them right from the get-go and don't let off.
What the players do in the park, Paul, is completely up to them.
True enough. Because once up, as the old saying goes, Martin, when it comes to a game of football, anything goes. And because once that first ball is kicked, it's just in the lap of the gods at that point in time. All we can do is just watch, hope, and pray.
Watch and hope. That's what I'll be doing. Paul, thank you very much, my friend. Speak to you soon.
No bother, man.
He always sounds that annoyed, Paul, doesn't he? He always sounds that raging. And by the way, you're absolutely right. Nowadays, you're anti-good of boss. That's very true. That's very, very true. No, but Connor, in all seriousness, should we be looking at this Celtic team? And look, I know that I tend to not say things like this because it can come back and severely bite you on the arse, right? But right now, as we sit here, I don't think it's too outlandish to say that we should be looking at that Celtic team. And if the roles were reversed, I think they'd be looking at us coming to their place on Sunday and going, yeah, we're going to do them.
Well, I mean, look, these are occasions where the one thing I would always say, and it's why I think we all sometimes have that slight cautious optimism with these games, it's because the form book, more often than not, gets thrown completely out the window. I don't care how poor Celtic are playing right now. I really don't. Because I absolutely will guarantee you they aren't going to come to Ibrox on Sunday and just roll over. You know, we are going to still have to go out there and put in a performance, be at our highest levels and do the business. And that showed.
Do we need to be? This is my point.
Yeah, look at what happened when we went to Parkhead the last time, Martin. We were terrible in the first half.
Yeah.
They couldn't finish us off. They couldn't get us out of sight. And what happened? The second half, it came back and bit them in the arse because we were better, we were hungrier, we were at it. We score 3 goals, and they lose a game 3-1 that they could have been 3 or 4-0 up at half time. We need to make sure we don't allow that situation to occur to us. Take advantage from the off, get in their faces.
Yeah, listen,
and attack them.
100% agree with you. And for far too many of these games, we've sat back. Far too many. And every manager that's came to Rangers has done it. We've sat back, we've invited pressure, and we've tried to hit on the break. And it very, very rarely works. Right? We've seen it when Ange was in charge of them, when Brendan Rodgers was in charge of them. Don't know. I think that the non-say stint counts, does it? And it's exactly the same with Martin O'Neill. That Celtic will try and come at us. However, I don't know if this Sunday is slightly different, Connor, and I'm not comparing the two teams, right? See, when we first came back into the top league and we were mince, right? And we were going into every Old Firm game, and it wasn't that the form book goes out the window. It was how much are Celtic going to win by the day, right? See, back to those days. Now, I'm not saying it's anywhere near that because it isn't. But what I'm saying is that this Celtic team right now are in such disarray. They're playing so poorly, and they've got key players at the back missing for them, and they've got Kasper Schmeichel in goal, right? The more I'm thinking about this, the more that I'm thinking that, all right, we are not perfect, we're not great, we're not outstanding, but I think right now we are better than them. And I think we should be going in with a mindset on Sunday of, no. We're the better team here. We are going to win. Because how many Old Firm games, Connor, have you been into in the last 5 or 6 years going, we're definitely winning this, or we definitely should win this because we're the better team?
No, I get that. I'd also caveat that by saying, as poor as they have been at any point this season, they have not dropped points to Livingston. We did.
Yeah.
And, everything you said there should have been the case. I mean, with all due respect to Livingston and Marvin Bartley, that should have been a routine bread and butter 3 points and up the road. Even on that pitch, that's what that should have been, and we made heavy weather of that. And even though we're at Ibrox and we've played well there recently, and the crowd will be rocking and be up for it, the onus is then on the players to make sure they are. Because Celtic will, they'll give what they've got. Martin O'Neill, I'm telling you now, he will know that when we played them at Hampden, they got lucky. He'll know that. But I say that game, not the Parkhead game, because obviously Nonsi was in charge of that game, Martin O'Neill wasn't. And he'll know, well, with 10 men, we couldn't beat Rangers in 90 minutes. We get pushed into extra time, which shouldn't really happen in those circumstances. So he'll be determined to prove a point as well. He still wants to make sure they're in the title race, and he knows if they lose that game, they're all but finished in terms of the title race. Not completely out of it, because again, mathematically, never rule anything out. This has been the kind of season, Martin, where anything and everything happens. So I just think we've got to be cautious of that. We also need to make sure, and it's just been pointed out, of course, about the late goals. Whatever we do, don't allow ourselves to come under pressure late on in the game when we've got a goal advantage or whatever. And because what is shite is they are, Martin, they're quite good at scoring goals in the last second of games.
They're better than us at that, to be fair.
100%. So we've just got to make sure we don't. Look, I agree with everything that's been said. We are, at this moment in time, the better team. There's no question in that. But it doesn't always work out that way. They were the better team than us when we won the championship and we beat them. It happens.
This is very true. This is very, very true. I'm actually looking forward to the press conference now, because I want to know about any niggling injuries. I want to know who's available. My big worry, Connor, is that Nadiri's still carrying this slight knock. And the reason for me why that's quite a big worry is, look, Nadiri's come in with a lot of fanfare, a lot of money spent in a third division German player, but he was scoring goals. And I don't want him to be, for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, getting 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here because he's carrying a knock or whatever, or missing out in games. We need one of the big things that we spoke about during the transfer window was needing a striker to come in and hit the ground running. And we need Nadiri to do that, and we need him to start. I know Chermiti got his double in the last Old Firm game, and I hope he does it again on Sunday. It would be fantastic. But we need one of our other strikers to come in and score goals, Connor, and I think we need Nadiri back now.
Of course we do. I mean, my concern about it is the fact that it seems to me, we're being told, he's a slight knock. It's a slight knock. It's not anything serious. He's still able to play, XYZ amount of minutes in games. My concern, though, is why is it not going away by now? Because it's been a few weeks. He's been carrying this slight knock, and it's not disappearing now. Is that because Danny Rule has still been playing him in all these games, even though he's not been starting them, with the exception, obviously, of the Hearts game? In which case, why not pick one of those games out and go, do you know what, I'm going to play Miovski? For example, Livingston could have played Miovski in that game. He didn't have to play Nadiri against Livingston, albeit when you're 2-0 down, you're throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it, which is why I get that. But I just think it is a concern, especially because seeing how good him and Chermiti as a front two were against Hearts just makes me go, that we might have cracked it with that. That might be, at least for the end of this season, that might be the answer that we have been scratching around looking for. And but you need him to be fit constantly to do that. I mean, Chermiti himself only just recently came back for a knock.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that says about Miovski, because again, he get through in for a start against Motherwell when he'd been out injured, and you're thinking, why is Miovski not getting that start? So there is that concern there, especially because I like Nadiri when he's come on apart. I like what I see. He's aggressive. He's fast for a big lad. He likes to get involved and throw himself about. I don't mind that from my strikers, and that's what helped Chermiti get his hat trick, because Nadiri's presence caused a bit of havoc, and it allowed him wee pockets of space that he could pick up as well. Look at the header. Scott Wilson plays that ball in the box. Chermiti's got the space at the front post to get up there and head that as brilliantly as he did, because Nadiri's drew defenders away from him towards the back post. Yeah. So I really hope, amongst hope, that Danny Rule's going to tell us in his press conference that Nadiri's fine, and he'll, and we get to see him on Saturday, because I honestly think if we can play the way we did against Hearts with those two up front, we will terrorise that Celtic back line, especially without, Trusty's not going to be playing. So you have an opportunity. I don't know who they'll bring in. I don't know what their options are. Maybe it's Dane Murray. I hope it is, because he's fucking worse than Suter. But we'll see. I'd also like to see, as Jason Prince says, Ant-Man as well, because this stop-start with him, I don't know what you think about it, Martin, but
he's not starting. He's definitely not starting regardless.
No, he's not starting, but why is he in the squad and playing 1 week and then he's not even in the squad the next game week? That seems to be a pattern that's a bit concerning.
Yeah, and we don't know what it is. We don't know if it's just that the manager doesn't fancy him, or that he's continuously carrying knocks. Knowing that it's Rangers corner, it'll probably be that he's continuously carrying knocks, because that's just what our players do, unfortunately.
It really
Just-
is.
They come in, they've never had an injury in their life, and they come into Rangers and they're out for 6 months. That is usually the way that it goes. But listen, folks, we will leave it there for your Rabble Live at 5. Thank you very much to everybody in the comment section. Thank you to everybody who phoned in. Just thank you very much for your time. It is greatly appreciated. Myself and Alex are back tonight at 9:30 for Hightower Wednesdays. So if you are a member, you can join us tonight at 9:30. Looking forward to that. And of course, I'm back tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. for your morning Rabble phone in, which is ironically, albeit a member show with less people watching, really busy with phone calls. So if you haven't seen that yet and you aren't a member yet, then check it out. Links are in the description. £1.99 per month. And you get your Monday to Friday phone-in shows. You get your Monday, Tuesday night shows, your Friday night shows, your match day coverage of every game. There's loads and loads and loads of content in there. And yes, Paul, I will answer questions then. I absolutely will. Don't you worry. I'm going to take that question that you've put in, and I'm going to talk about it to Alex tonight on the Hightower Wednesdays. So there you go. So if I could just ask everybody as well, just before you all jump away and leave and say, all right, if the fat guy's about to stop talking, if you could hit the like button and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. It really does help out the channel, and it really does help us grow as well. So thank you very much, Connor, for jumping in last minute.
Yeah, no, pleasure. Enjoyed that wee half hour. It was, I tell you what, it took me back to the old Monday night phone-in days, having been on a phone-in, because I haven't been on one of them since we stopped the Monday night ones.
I'm quite enjoying them, but I'm going to stop doing them as often, because then they become normal and people go, I'm not going to bother phoning, and we would like to get some new voices calling in as well. That would be good. And still all the same old guys that phone in, still want them to phone in, but it'd be good to hear some new voices as well. So members, we'll see you tonight at 9:30. Connor, thank you very much. Everybody, thank you very much. And we shall speak very, very soon.